everyone, Nate from CanHunt here. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about the Tactacam Reveal series of cellular trail cameras, but specifically for here in Canada. The reason I'm making this video is because over and over again I see on Facebook groups where people are asking what the best cell camera is available to them right now, and overwhelmingly the answers that are being provided by you guys realistically is the Tactacam series of cameras, alright? But even with them being so popular, I still do see some confusion, mostly centered around how to activate them and using the SIM cards here in Canada. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Now to start, I want to make it known that I am in no way affiliated with Tactacam or their products. I do use them personally, but I'm not being sponsored or anything like that. Now with this video, I'm not going to be doing any sort of in-depth review or talking about the features specifically about the cameras, as there's already a lot of content on the internet about that. So if you want any of that, look to another video. But today we're going to cover more or less the basics about the cameras and how exactly to use them, like I said, here in Canada. Okay, first things first, what are your options? Tactacam has made different cameras in the past. However, their two current offerings are the Tactacam Reveal X Gen 2.0 and the Tactacam Reveal X Pro. The cheapest place I could find either of these cameras in Canada was actually at Cabela's. The X Gen 2.0 retails at $179.99 and the X Pro retails at $229.99. I will also point out that I would not buy these cameras at full price. They typically go on sale. For example, I bought these cameras for this video and the X Gen 2.0 was on sale for $159.99. So if you're gonna pick them up and they are full price, just wait a couple weeks, stay tuned to the Cabela's website and they're likely to go on sale for you. All in all, these cameras are identical and perform virtually the same. There is four main exceptions though that the upgraded X Pro has as far as features. So the first feature I'm going to talk about with the X Pro is the fact that it has no glow IR technology. And if you're unfamiliar with IR technology, essentially it's what allows your camera to take pictures at night. So most cameras, or in our case the X Gen 2, it's going to have low glow IR or just a normal IR LED lights in it. And the issue there is there's a certain level of detectability that goes on there, so it typically emits a little bit of a light, and even humans, but more so wild game is definitely going to be able to pick up on that. And you see that a lot of the time if you have your camera out in the woods and you have a deer looking directly at your camera, it's likely because it has detected something coming from your camera and it can pick up on that. In the case of the X Pro, it has no glow IR technology. So what that means is essentially the light that is emitted from it is 940 on the nanometer spectrum and is virtually undetectable by most things. There is a few exceptions, but when it comes to like humans or wild game, you're not really gonna have any problem. The second feature is that it has a built-in LCD screen. This essentially allows you to control all the settings on the camera itself, whereas the X Gen 2.0, if you want to change any of the settings, you need to connect to the camera via Wi-Fi or on the app if you're not actually with the camera. And the benefit there is that you can change the settings on the fly a lot easier with the X Pro than you can with the Gen 2. Number three is that it has a built-in GPS. And I think the advantage there is pretty obvious, but you essentially, I'm pretty sure you can map where the cameras actually are, and in the situation if your camera were to get stolen, you should be able to track that down using the GPS. And the fourth feature is actually not listed by Tactacam anywhere that I could find. However, it's the ability to set a daily picture limit that's sent to your phone. I don't believe it's available in the X Gen 2, or at least I haven't been able to find it. But if I'm wrong, someone can comment below and let me know. But essentially what it does is you can set a maximum number of pictures per day that's sent to your phone. So the advantage there is if you're paying for one of the lesser plans, maybe 250 to 500 pictures per month, you should be able to set a limit. That way if you got like a stick blowing in front of your camera, you're not gonna reach your maximum within a day. And the actual limit you can set either to unlimited or anywhere from 1 to 99 pictures per day. So if any of these features are a must for you, then you're going to want to upgrade to the X Pro. But if they aren't, which I think is the case for most people, the X Gen 2.0 is more than capable of getting the job done, and it is cheaper, right? So like I said before, outside of those four features that I've just mentioned, they essentially perform on par. Now you have your camera, right? So regardless of what camera you've actually bought, everything inside the packaging should be identical, okay? There's going to be the same stuff in there. The only exception is the camera itself. So in there is going to be the camera, you're going to have an antenna, the strap, the manual, and then there's going to be some SIM cards in there as well. And the setup of the camera is also very similar and very straightforward in my opinion. One area that I have seen a lot of confusion centers around the SIM cards. And it does come with two. And to me, it wasn't immediately obvious when you bought the camera the first time whether it actually had those cards in there until I saw it on the shelf and was able to tell. Now, like I mentioned, it does come with 2 SIM cards. So you're gonna have a Verizon one, and then you're gonna have an AT&T one. The Verizon one will not work in Canada, so no matter where you are in Canada, you should be using the AT&T SIM card. And it wasn't immediately, it's not in the manual or anything like that, but if you do some digging on the web, they have confirmed that you must use an AT&T SIM card. So and you can basically throw the Verizon one out when you get it, because it's not gonna work. Anyone that is interested in what Canadian cell companies that they're actually using with AT&T. The list includes Bell, Ice Wireless, Videotron, Telus, Rogers, Wind, KNet, and SaskTel as well. So basically that covers all the provinces, and that's going to get you your cell signal to the actual camera. And then again, that's partnered through AT&T with those companies. I'm also going to flash it up on the screen with a map that shows the actual coverage. And again, if you need to see this later on, I'm going to have it linked in the comments below, but it's going to be up here on your screen now. And if you look at it pretty well, the whole East Coast relatively good to go, with some spots in Newfoundland, and New Brunswick's got one up in the north. Then Quebec, basically along the southern border, you're going to be fine, but as you move north, it's spotty, just exactly like the cell service, right? So southern Ontario is good to go, same with Manitoba and Saskatchewan, but then as you get north in those provinces, your reception is going to be hit and miss, or not at all. And then Alberta has pretty good coverage just about the whole thing, with the exception of the mountains. And then going into British Columbia as well, decent amount of coverage, but obviously the mountains very much hinder that ability for the cameras to get that cell reception. So again, basically if you have cell reception, you should be good to go with these cell cameras. And then if you look at the territories, there's basically none there, so good luck if you're up there. Now, as far as setting up the actual camera, super easy, like I said. All you really need to do is attach the antenna, insert the SIM card in there, and then insert the SD card and your batteries, and you're good to go. There's typically, if you're using the app, it's going to walk you through it. And if you have any questions, just refer to the manual. It's also tell you all the steps that you need to follow there. Now, as far as the app, if you're living in Canada, no real exceptions there. Tactacam does have 4 different apps depending on what you're doing within the company, whether it's their action cameras and that sort of thing. But for this one, just simply find the one that's called Tactacam Reveal, and then you're going to be good to go. That'll, again, walk you through everything you need to do. And if you do have any questions on that sort of stuff, there's plenty of videos on YouTube that'll help you out. Now we'll talk about the plans. The prices, I think, are pretty reasonable. One thing to consider though, when you're looking at the website, all the prices that are showing is American dollars. So if you're in Canada, that price is going to be slightly inflated just due to the change in the dollar. And I took the time actually to take their graphic and I edited it, and I all showed up here on the screen now. So everything you're looking at now on the screen is in Canadian dollars. So you can see at the top there, it says starting as low as $7 a month in Canadian. And then you have your 3 plans, right? You have the, starting at the bottom, you have your starter plan with 250 pictures per camera per month. Intermediate plan is 500 pictures per camera per month. And then your pro plan is just unlimited. Like I said, any dollar amount on that screen has been converted to Canadian dollars. So you have your yearly rate, which comes with a bit of a savings there, and then you have your monthly rates. And then if you're having additional cameras, it's located there at the bottom of the screen. And one other thing I'll add about the plans is you can start and stop them whenever you want. So if you just want to pay for a month and then stop for a couple months and start again, no problem. There's no extra fees or anything like that. And I found it very easy as well. Again, just everything is done through the app, and you can start and stop whenever you need to. You can use whatever camera you want. It's just as simple as that. Now that should be pretty much all the information you need in order to use the cameras here in Canada. Like I said at the start, I personally highly recommend these cameras. I have had other cameras in the past and they just do not perform on par. You have problems with cell signal, all that sort of thing. The app not being very good. This camera hits all those spots for you and makes it a lot easier. So all in all, a really good cell camera if you need one here in Canada for hunting or whatnot. The Tactacam Reveal series of cameras is gonna be just for you. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this video useful or informative, make sure to subscribe below. If you have any questions, send those in the comments, and I'll try to get onto those as soon as I can. If you want to stay tuned into what CanHunt is doing, follow us on any social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we're even on Reddit. Just check us out, just search CanHunt and you'll find us.